What is up, fellow gearheads and car enthusiasts? So, as you can tell today, today I'll be talking about garage rehab again, and I think I'm beginning to see a trend with these garages. Maybe a little hoarding or excessive saving may be the reason why they're going down. Anyway, garage rehab episode 3 recap/review. So today on the channel we will be talking about garage rehab season 1 episode 3. The garage that is featured on the show is Scotty's Automotive and Collision in Roanoke, Texas. And this is actually a funny, I guess, rehab, because this garage is actually in like a 8,000 population community. And that's pretty small, but Scotty, I guess the owner of the place, he states that he's making about $700,000 to $900,000, like the company, not him himself, but the company. Which that seems like a lot to me, considering that the population is 8,000 people. Now some specs about the garage, and then I'll get into some different things, and I think I'll probably discuss a little bit different than normal. The garage itself is like 4,000 square feet, decent size. I would love to have a garage that big. He looks like he has about 8 or 9 workers, but I don't really know, because in the beginning of the show it looks like a lot of people are just sitting around and talking, so I don't know if like they're actually workers or they're just like friends that are there and chilling and talking. Anyway, this dude has like 30 plus cars just sitting on the premise, and because of that, the city of Roanoke actually built a wall around his shop to basically block out the view of all those cars for the rest of the like downtown city area. That's kind of crazy to me. Another little crazy fact is, like I said before, he says that he didn't actually say it. His wife actually said the business makes about $700,000 to $900,000. That's a swing of what they got. But Scotty has no idea how much they actually bring home themselves, because they don't write a check for themselves. Okay, so anyway, Richard Rawlings comes in as always and looks at this place, and he basically says everything in the garage is junk. Everything. This dude is like keeping old parts from cars that he's done work on, and he has like this hero mentality that, well, if somebody comes in and they need XYZ part, then I'll have it and I'll be able to help them. Well, when you got a business, there's a certain aspect of like helping you want to do, and then there's a certain aspect of I need to like make sure I provide for my family. And I don't think Scotty had a hold of that, is the reason why he hoarded or saved everything. So anyway, Richard Rawlings is like, hey, I'm going to invest $200,000 of my time and my resources to turn this place around. Mind you, on the show, they say they like do this turnaround in like 6 to 7 days. That's pretty ridiculous, if you ask me. That's pretty fast. Granted, a shop is a wide open space. All you have to do is replace like equipment, but getting that equipment up and around, I guess when you have that much money, you can have a bunch of people working around the clock, which is what they do. So Russell gets stuff cleaned out. He says in the show that it takes 15 truckloads. 15 truckloads to clear out a 4,000 square foot shop. I think that's a little excessive. That's why I said I think it's somewhat of a thing with these these little small garages. They just like to hoard stuff, which is crazy. Now, after they get stuff cleared out, Richard actually starts taking some of these cars to the junkyard to get crushed. Richard actually, right off the bat, after kind of talking to Scotty, he actually gets rid of like 3 or 4 people out of the shop because he feels like they're not doing anything. I mean, they're just around talking, and we don't need talking to make a business run correctly. Here's a question, because it's never explicitly said, but you know, Richard is investing $200,000 of his money, but is he actually like getting a return? I mean, I'm assuming he is. I'm assuming he's for sure going to get his $200,000 back, but is he actually going to make a percentage of what Scotty's going to make in the future? That's what I wish that they would say in the show, because the show is obviously it's interesting enough for me, but I want to know if, hey, Richard says, Scotty, I'm going to give you $200,000, but I'm going to need the $200,000, and I'm going to make 10 to 15% of everything that you bring in for the next 5, 10, 20 years. You know, that would be a smart business move. But who knows? It's not explicitly said. Now, as far as the renovation, man, this shop looks completely new, completely different. It looks like Richard got brand new I don't know if you say Kaiser or Kaiser equipment, Ranger equipment, Lincoln equipment, Waterloo equipment, just top-notch stuff. Brand new security system that Richard can actually see for himself if people are doing work. They have a few different areas for Scotty and his shop to work in as well. It's like, I mean, they have an alignment area, they have an oil changing area, they have a more extensive repair area, they have a long-term project area where, you know, if Scotty wants to do a restoration project or something that's going to be kind of more time extensive, they have an area for that, which is freaking awesome. They clear out all the parking lot. I mean, the outside looks completely brand new. They repaint everything, give them a new sign. Chris, who is one of Richard Rawlings' buddies, which is kind of crazy for me. It makes me like want to say, oh my gosh, man, I should open a garage. He says that just from alignments alone, they can make $200,000. So $200,000 for an alignment area, and then all, you know, everything else you're gonna do, oil changes, brake changes, you know, stuff like that. That's impressive. All in all, this episode was pretty interesting, to say the least, because this is the first time you see Richard get rid of people in the shop. The first time you see that you actually see cars get crushed. And this is the first time the owner actually cried after getting his shop redone. Now, you know, as far as I guess overall, this episode was I don't even like to rank these anymore. I'm just recapping and kind of, it's not really I guess it's a review, but I'm kind of recapping what happened. I think it's interesting as well that, you know, he's doing all this investing and stuff, but I really want to know how much return he's getting. So anyway, y'all drop a line on what you think. Do you think he's getting a return? I would think so. He's a businessman himself. Richard's a businessman himself, so he wouldn't do anything just to get his $200,000 back and then go scotch-free. So drop a line down below. As always, I want to thank y'all guys for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for checking out the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe down below. I would really appreciate it. And we will catch y'all on the next review. Peace out and have a great day, guys.